mostly. 2017, they did find an apartment still had their plumbing going out here into the water. And the nitrogen levels, bacteria levels are still a bit too high, so there's suspicion that some apartments here still have plumbing going out into the water here. So if you're looking for a nice jet ski ride, maybe not around this general area. So as I mentioned, Sweden, Stockholm, it was a whole smelly situation here. And as we basically have the same waste management system as we had since the medieval times, all the way up until the beginning of the 1800s, when we finally thought this should be fixed by now. So they, I don't know, they started recycling, separating their colors, you know, just taking care a little bit more. So nowadays, Stockholm is actually one of the cleanest capitals in the world, air quality and the water quality wise. On the street, it wouldn't be Scandinavia's most expensive street if we didn't have celebrities. Some members of ABBA have their apartments here. Zlatan has an apartment here. Swedish author Jan Guillou has an apartment here as well. And there's actually a church a couple streets up from here. It's called Elimkyrkan. Zlatan bought that church for 110 million crowns. And not because he's looking to get into the priest gig, but he actually remodeled it into his own personal gym. Here we have the Swedish Navy. Thank you for your service. This beautiful park right here is Nobelparken, and this park is actually the host of every single type of Swedish tree. So there's about 25 different trees here. We also have special guest appearance. You see the dead ugly tree there? They have Denmark's national tree. Yes, so one of every Swedish tree except one. The mountain birch can't grow in Stockholm because it's too warm climate, unfortunately. But otherwise, if you want to experience all the Swedish woodlands at the same time, take a walk. This island right here is Djurgården. And, you know, the king of Sweden, he doesn't hold much power, but he does hold power over this particular island, Djurgården. And Djurgården is one of the most museum-dense places in the world because of this. And he gets to decide what people can move here, what kind of businesses can start up. So he's allowed for a lot of museums to be built. About 800 people live on the island. And most are friends, relatives, or service folk of the royal family. Because you have to get personal approval from the king. Sorry?
What is it?
Oh, we're gonna get to that. You just hold on to your hat. I'll get to it. On the other side here, like up on the upside of this, we have Skansen Zoo, and that's our zoo, as you may have figured out. And there was an incident back a couple of years back where a man actually got his arm bit off by a Cuban crocodile. Yes, I know. And what happened was, well, let's go way back. So, Fidel Castro, right? He gave these Cuban crocodiles to a Russian cosmonaut from the beginning who was there to visit. And the Russian cosmonaut, he got these crocodiles, he said, oh, great, I'll bring them back home. And so he did. And they were very happy, but eventually Moscow Zoo, they donated them to us here and at Skansen. And the director of the zoo went personally and delivered them. And a couple years back, the owner of Skansen, he was having a crayfish party,